ये सौरभ सेनगुप्ता है। अभी अभी कश्मीरी गेट के मेट्रो स्टेशन से निकले हैं नई दिल्ली के। अभी जा रहे हैं यमुना बैंक की तरफ। मैं इनके पीछे हूँ कैमरा लेके। आज इनसे बातचीत होगा। आर्ट कीपर की तरफ से डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है और चल रहे हैं हम लोग और चलते हैं और ये पूरे एनवायरनमेंट को आपको दिखाएंगे। पूरे जाते जाते जो लोकेशन है ये पूरी जगह को हम दिखाएंगे। आपको वॉक करना होगा यहाँ से कश्मीरी गेट से उतरने के बाद। आप देख सकते हैं इस बोर्ड को यमुना के लिए। एंड नाउ वी आर गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द यमुना बैंक। एक तरह से एक एडवेंचर है। नदी की हालत अगर आप देखेंगे तो आपको दुख होगा, आपको गुस्सा भी आएगा। ये मतलब क्या बोलें, बहुत ही ग्लोरियस डेज देख चुकी है, लेकिन आज जो हालत में है आज हम सोच नहीं सकते।
एक कहानी तुम्हें सुनानी, धरती की ये बात पुरानी। बहती थी धारा कहीं, नदी कहते थे उसे सभी। आज भी बहती कहीं वो धारा, देखो कहीं मिट न जाए वो सारा। अभी वक्त है कदम उठाओ, उस धारा को सागर से मिलवाओ। अभी भी उसमें जान है बाकी, आओ साथी आओ साथी।
ये सिर्फ एक नदी नहीं है, ये बहती हुई ज़िंदगी है और जो बुरी तरह से सूख चुकी है। एक मरी हुई सड़ी हुई नदी, ए डेड रिवर। तो आज बात करेंगे किस तरह से एक इंसान एनवायरनमेंट को लेके आर्ट को जोड़ के काम कर रहा है और आर्ट को हम किस तरह से, कला को हम किस तरह से, हाउ वी कैन यूज़ आर्ट to actually work in favor and in support of environment and humanity. And I'll talk to SOURABH SENGUPTA regarding this. But first I will like to show you the entire space. आप ये देख सकते हैं, now you can see a human life and so many people have been supported and they are totally dependent upon this river. और इस रिवर बैंक में काफ़ी सारे लोग बसे हुए हैं। they have settled down over here, they are living over here and somehow this river is taking care of them. I don't know how and in what way. ये पानी पीने लायक भी है या नहीं मुझे मालूम नहीं है। जो स्मेल यहाँ पे है, जो मुझे मिल रहा था, जो सौरभ को ही मिल रहा था, वो बर्दाश्त के बाहर था। नो द स्टेंच, इट वॉज अनबेरेबल एंड वी हैव किल्ड दिस रिवर, वी द ह्यूमन बींग्स, वी द रेसिडेंट्स ऑफ दिल्ली, वी हैव किल्ड दिस रिवर. सो आई एम ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट सौरभ सेनगुप्ता नाउ. बात करेंगे, जानेंगे कि किस तरह से हम आर्ट को एनवायरनमेंट के साथ, इकोलॉजी के साथ जोड़ के काम कर सकते हैं. या हाय सौरभ. I've been tracking your footsteps and we are here at Yamuna Banks, right?
Right. This is Kodasiya Ghat.
Chaurasia.
Kodasiya
Ghat, and this is New Delhi's Yamuna.
Yeah.
And with the Yamuna Bank. And this river looks absolutely dead.
Well, that's where my Dead River Project Foundation was initiated, and I was very much inspired by the lack of what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what we are.
Right.
This is actually the depiction of our society.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the depiction of how we feel.
Right.
And this is actually what we have done to a natural body. And it is a collective effort that needs to be brought in to solve a crisis. where civil society, government, private bodies, each individual has to come collaborate and fix something that is a river like Yamuna that is flowing through Delhi.
And how appropriate we are right now at this place. Basically, when you said it's dead river project,
Yeah.
we're actually sitting at the bank of Yamuna, which is nearly dead. And what exactly is this dead river project? When you started working in this
So,
project?
Dead River project. Primarily, this project started with me going into Yamuna Bank and seeing the kind of situation the water and the human beings living on the banks of Yamuna were facing. I started with photographing the human story, and when the documentation got over and when I was sorting out the images, and I realized that there is much more depth in the story of human beings and the relation of a river that is almost dead. So what I wanted to start with was creating an awareness, and I wanted to understand that what are the kind of solutions that we can work upon. And while studying the pattern of solutions that are there in the environment sector, I realized that whatever we do, whatever we say, cannot be impacted if there is no awareness, if there is no continuity of the process of creating people aware of the problem. Hence, what I feel and what I want to do is I want to introduce the crisis in such a way through different kind of medium of art. So I want all kind of art to blend together, and that art form addresses the issue and creates awareness towards protecting the water bodies and water in general. The availability of groundwater will be so scarce that we will be facing difficulties in getting consumable water even for the farmland. So hence, taking that as a cue, I went out to meet people, different kind of people, and then with them while discussing we came up with different kind of things that can be done. In terms of workshops that I have planned, I have designed, I have been working with the age group that is from class 5 to class 9. That's where the whole awareness needs to be imbibed, because they are the future which will be implemented when they grow, when they become adult. They will be a concerned and conscious citizens, and that's the ultimate goal of the Dead River project. They are the ones who will be the flag bearers of the next generation, who will be talking upon different kind of steps that they will be taking. So and why art? The question most of the people they ask that what is Dead River project and how will it help in creating awareness. I feel that art has that power to address any and every kind of issues. For example, when I talk about art, theatre is a medium which has been there in the domain which talks about different kind of movement, and in terms of environmental policies, environmental activism, theatre plays a very important role. There are amazing writers who have been writing about environment and environment related stories. Now I want those stories to come on front with the people on the stage, and they realize what kind of stories, human stories are there which is directly impacting the environment. Even in an apartment in a city, apartments face huge crisis of water availability. They hire tankers. There are regions in India where we have water banks. There are regions in India where even a single drop of water is so precious that they kill over each other, just to have an access to that. So how do we address that? So theatre becomes one of that. Then comes the music. Then comes contemporary art. Then comes workshops, oration. So these are the kind of steps that as an individual or as an entity we are trying to create and give to the world back, so that when they go back home, there is a recall value to what we have spoken about. And it's not something that we are preaching. It's something that's already there. We're trying to nudge you. We're trying to make sure that you understand the gravity of the situation and then act upon it, because acting is more important. And the amount of crisis, it's there. We have to act. and the act has to happen now, because we cannot think of doing something for next 30 years if we don't take steps now. So through Dead River project, I am trying to take that step now as an individual, and then ask others to join in. If they go back home individually on their personal level, if they take even one single step, I think that will be a step towards sustainability, that will be a step towards right path, and that will be addressing the larger issue in a very small step.
I am from a corporate background, and
Right.
in 2015 I thought of doing something which I really felt close to my heart, and working for something greater than me and bigger in bigger magnitude. This is where I discovered that through participatory active participation I can really change, because otherwise there is no impact. And I studied a lot. I traveled across India, and 2015 I decided that I need to jump into something that is more meaningful, and I was fortunate that there are lot many people who supported in this decision making. My school seniors, my colleagues, people who are across the world. I consulted them, and I shared my thoughts. Everybody said that if not, then who else? Like they found a resemblance of my character and the way I am thinking and the way I can contribute. So
Right.
yes, that's where this initiation triggered, but not exactly that is right now.
Okay.
It triggered with photo documentation. It triggered with capturing Yamuna and life by this place.
Right.
I've documented this as part of my initial documentation, and that's where a cow coming out of this water, exactly at that point in time, Dead River was in the back of mind. That how can a river that is absolutely dead is supporting life? And if you see across the banks, there are many people who is surviving because of this river. So it's in a spiritual
Is there
term.
livelihood sometimes, and is the shelter also?
Shelter also. So in a spiritual term, I can say that this is where the life actually originates. So why not working for life? And what else than working for something where we can bring communities together, where we can not only for Yamuna but for many issues that are relevant for the society, and many issues that are hidden somewhere in our narrative, but then somebody has to come and talk to handhold or maybe initiate some kind of a discussion. So this Dead River Project Foundation was and is a platform where various mindsets come together, share their thoughts, share their inputs, share what they wish to do, and primarily we have not kept money in mind, because that's where the dilution happens. I have my past experience of working with a lot of government bodies and non-government bodies, and I found that if you are really intended to create a change, money is a deterrent, and if you really wish to come forward and do something, anything, you have to have a hand-holding platform, and that's where that people like many people who came supported, and they gave
And like-minded people were.
they came together and said that money is not what is stopping us. It is our a platform that is independent of money. So that's where the independence of money came into the picture. Whoever wished to come, join, participate, do whatever I feel like doing, come join in my quest for doing something great. So people can join in. So I'm not asking for money. It's all their intent. It is all about how strongly they wish to contribute and save the planet in their own unique way. I mean, my way is not the right way. It can be any way. But then
our way is creative way, basically.
Yes, our way is creative way. My is like, how can I bring people together?
Right.
And with one cause, like let's come together and do something for wherever you are. Like environment is everywhere. Your home is also an environment. So
Absolutely.
why don't you start? And for that you don't need any initiation. You just need a nudge. Maybe करते हैं types. अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो क्यों नहीं?
And let me tell my audience why I'm asking all these questions to SOURABH. He's also using art. He's also using art, incorporating art to actually raise all these issues and talk about it, to bring together all artists also. So I'll come to the point now. Next point is how you are using art in your project.
I started with photography.
You are also a photographer yourself.
I won't call myself photographer, but then I am a creative person. I also like to paint. I also like to act. I also like to orate. I also like to read.
Okay.
And if I'm living, it's all because of creativity. So I cannot confine myself or anybody for that matter in one genre.
Right.
So it's open to all. But yeah, I prefer if something that can be so strong and so impactful that your creativity should speak volume about what you do, what you think of your world, of your nature, of your consciousness. So that is one of the major thing in our organization.
Right.
So we encourage photographers, we encourage filmmakers, we encourage documentary filmmakers, we encourage writers, content writers.
What about visual artists?
Absolutely. So photography, filmmaking, art, and I work very closely with Shatadru,
Right.
who is also a performing artist.
Satadu Shoman.
Yeah, Shatadru Shoban, and he and his whole gang of artists have really worked amazingly in terms of environment, and that's where my inspiration comes from. Like, it's an equal mutual admiration club kind of, where I get inspired because of his concept of working closely to the nature and closely to the human individuality and human dignity. So these are the things that really I really feel connected to, and thankfully I have met amazing people like Satadru, and everybody who have I come across have given me something to ponder upon, something to think, and to engage my inner consciousness. So that's very important for me, and also for Dead River Project Foundation, that we need people from various walks of life, and not only in India. This is an organization which has been supported by people across the globe, people from America, people from Brazil, people from Egypt, people from Lebanon, people from Malaysia, everywhere. So Australia. So I'm fortunate that my consciousness is traveling across the globe, and through Dead River Project Foundation, whatever small we are doing in any part of the world, that is adding to the value of what we think is right, like bringing communities together.
Okay. What you can see right now at the river bank are gods and goddesses of conveniences. These are idols and photo albums of gods and goddesses, Indian gods, and they have been abandoned by people for immersion in Yamuna. Yamuna is also treated as a holy river by Indians. And this is how religion is also very close and related to this river. And as you can see, people are relaxing. So it's a total ecosystem which is working on the banks of this river. The river is also dead. It's dead. So I'm giving you a close-up of all these gods and goddesses. They were abandoned by people. They were supposed to be, immersed for immersion, and as you can see, one of the person is performing some holy ritual. Now I'll give you a close-up of this river. It's totally black. It's dark. The color of the river, the water is totally dark, black. And see what people have done. What people have done to the banks. How people treat this river. So badly they treat this river. And we are drinking this water. it's being treated, and people are drinking this water. They are using it for bathing. We have boats also. Okay, and it's really sad. I'm staying in Delhi since 1980, and I have seen the deterioration, the death of this river, and it's very sad, pretty sad. So do you feel a kind of pain when you look at this, river?
Of course.
Once upon a time, this was a majestic one.
Of course, it's sad. I mean, when we closely observe the banks,
Right.
something that inside you tells that what are we doing? Like their basic question, where are we leading this to? I mean, just see the amount of filth, amount of waste.
And interesting part is like religion is also some way or the other.
Of course, we.
It's part of this mess.
Our country is so vulnerable with religion, and our people are so closely attached to the religious activities. We don't understand, and it's not with others, it's also with my family also, that despite me getting into this, there are certain things that of course they do follow, and where the natural body's deposition of waste is concerned,
Right.
we are also part of the system. So the pain that you see that I'm experiencing is just not the pain that I see to the world outside, that's also inside. And family wise, the rituals that our family in Indian context, if we see, we are also part of the same thing. The waste that is generated through all these pujas and celebrations, they all land up here somewhere or the other. We are part of the whole ecosystem, and we are the ones who are the problem creators.
I have a very interesting question, and also I want to share one idea with you. It's like, let's work. It's like you can ask artists to actually visit this bank and use all this junk and all this garbage to create art, and you display this art using this bank only, this river bank only.
We did a show with Shatadru and his team in the other bank over there. If you see, let the audience see.
Okay.
If you see the temple outside there,
Okay.
just in front of that there is a space. There's a space in the bank where Shatadru and his team came together. They did a lot of act.
Okay.
Where they emphasize on how the natural body is being polluted, how we
So you used performance art.
Performance art, yes.
Right.
Where the artists they narrated the struggle of human beings and struggle of the nature,
Right.
and how we are closely connected, but that we are so disconnected at so many levels. So that's where art form has been done. Also, I work very closely with small kids, and the basic thing that we do is we ask the kids to paint, draw, and you won't believe the kind of imagination they have when I talk about river, when I talk about mountains, when I talk about jungles. All they do is concrete. All they do is few flower pots, and that's where they
can't imagine the water bodies.
They can't imagine. So that's so sad, and that's how we have created this young ones, their thought process, and that is so scary at so many level. To see a jungle, to see a river, to see a water body, they have to go say 100 miles or 100 kilometers away upstream to maybe Haridwar or any water body that is near to that place. But then just few kilometers within your city you have a river, and see the neglect that is there.
Absolutely.
And I don't see any kids coming in. I don't see any, apart from the rituals, I don't see anybody taking interest in this river because it's stinking. if you see, if you come with me and if you can
Yep.
document
I can smell it.
yeah, so there's a stench, there is
Absolutely.
so what have we done? What have we done and where we have landed? That is a very big question that we all need to ask ourselves. I keep on asking myself, and every day when I cross from Delhi to Noida,
Right.
through metro, through flyways, it's a sad sight that really kills the whole enthusiasm inside me. That what am I doing? Am I really contributing? And this question is arisen for everybody. Like everybody watches it.
Absolutely.
But are we really thinking? And if we are thinking, are we acting on it? And this is not government's fault only. We are equally participant, because these garbage that you see, if you see the amount of filth, it's been deposited very, very strategically. People have come, collected, see the waste that has been non-segregated, and that is being kept there.
Absolutely.
Very, very conveniently.
Right.
So this convenience is where the problem lies. It's not with the effort. People do have effort to collect. I mean, they have only collected it. They have made sure that there is no garbage outside.
Right.
Everything is within the polythene. But then, what within polythene? Can this be addressed? I'm very, very sure that every RWAs in Delhi, they have initiated, at least South Delhi Municipal Corporation have initiated a lot of segregation activities within their colonies. And see, I mean, it's very sad.
Here only, I want to add on. Basically, people don't want to segregate here only. See, a lot of people who are poor, who are settling down over here, right? They're staying here just for for some temporary shelter. Maybe they are also using it as a ground to dump. And even the nearby people who are like, I know people coming from other parts of Delhi also. Like I'm talking the nearby parts, say Lakshmi Nagar and other parts. They also travel and they also dump. Sometimes people do religious, activities and they dump. So there are many other things. They use it and they find this kind of things, convenient, obviously, and lack of law to check all these things. Nobody is here to stop them. So people have been given that kind of, license to do whatever they can with this river, which is sad, I think.
Well,
community education should also be incorporated.
freedom comes with a rider.
Right.
It is free. Freedom is nothing. It is not free. At least it is not free. It comes with some kind of responsibility. Some
Right,
kind
absolutely.
of sense of ownership and sense of owning this place. Like your city, it's your city. I mean, whoever is living even for a day.
So Saurabh, what about putting up posters and doing murals also in and around all this place? This this entire space has a lot of walls and all that. Using that for doing murals, and
Yes, of
putting up
course,
posters.
Beautification of this place can.
It's not only beautification, giving the message also with the message.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's there. I mean.
कि आपको ये करना चाहिए, आपको वो करना चाहिए, आपको यमुना के साथ ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. ये भी आपकी माँ है.
Of
या
course.
if you add things which are emotional and make it part of their family, they will own it. They will feel the ownership with the river.
See, everybody is connected with Yamuna.
Right.
Knowing
One way or the other.
One way or the other. So, of course, adding art to these walls and flyovers and beautifying this place will add value to the whole thing.
And I'm not asking only you.
of
The
course.
government should also
So,
jump in.
I'm sure that there must be some plan, because everywhere I should not blame any party for that matter. As I told you in the initial
Right.
stage, that everybody is responsible. Government did not say that you don't manage your waste. Government did say. Government are doing a lot of activities. I am not taking away credits of what they are doing, because they are doing. Participation has to happen from each corner, and that participation is where it is lacking. I mean, हो जाएगा, कर देंगे, मेरा शहर नहीं है, हम तो बाहर से हैं, या ये दिल्ली का गंदा है, हम यूपी के वाले हैं, हम यूपी से दिल्ली आते हैं, तो ये हमारा शहर नहीं. So that ownership of being this country as your own, like anywhere you go across India, wherever you go, your country, it's your country, your land. You are entitled to save it. And
this kind of many interesting projects were done in Bangladesh and abroad also in Europe, where the river have been used as a canvas. The entire river. So I can say it's in horrible shape. I don't even think about using this as a canvas. Like I can't jump in and use it. पर लोग करते हैं, like they use the river as a canvas. So you can put up things which are say huge, I don't know, some kind of installations maybe, which could be visible from quite a long distance, and that will be something striking. They will get to know that ये river सिर्फ गंदगी करने के लिए नहीं है, इसमें कला, इसमें ब्यूटिफिकेशन भी है. So we should take care of this.
I'm sure, in terms of town planning and in terms of riverfront upgradation, there must be some plan in terms of government policies, and that has to be from the government, because they are the one who are party to this. Of course, if they ask civil society to come and join into this.
Saurabh, are you working only in Delhi, or you're just targeting the urban space, or you're there to work each and every corner of India?
Primarily, we are connected with many organizations, youth-led organizations across India, and also we are trying to reach out to the remotest part of the country. We have identified few pockets. Especially, I should mention Jodhpur.
Okay.
There's a river called Jojri. Same, the fate of the river Jojri is same as what we are seeing here in Yamuna. Then there is Narmada, Ken, Betwa, Madhya Pradesh.
Right.
Then we have Ganga. So in Patna, what we are doing is we are collaborating with a lot of youngsters who are cycling, and also we are empowering them to collect waste. So there are teams, there are individuals, there are organizations in Patna who are collecting every Sunday.
Okay.
They are collecting waste and depositing it to Patna Municipal Corporation's dump yard.
Okay.
So it's a great way of connecting to youths. I'm very supportive of all these people who are working closely with me. They may be associated, they may not be associated, but then yes, there is a brotherhood feeling kind of a thing that is going on across India.
Right.
That's what is needed. I may not be in Madhya Pradesh, I may not be in Patna, I may not be in Bangalore, but then the essence of bringing together these kind of forces are there, and it is so overwhelming to work, listen, learn, educate and inspire. So these are all the aspects where I am being involved and my organization is being involved, and that's where the essence of bringing communities lie. And despite the darkness that you see here, despite the negativity that we hear, I'm very positive that together there is a hope. And with COP26 Paris Agreement carbon emission thing happening, more and more youngsters are coming to this foray, and more youths are getting aligned with the cause of global climate change and upgrading the environment and protecting the environment, and talking that there are amazing leaders in India, the youth leaders that I closely work with and I closely get inspired from. And they're more younger than me. Like I think I am very late in reacting to the environment.
Okay.
But these kids who are fighting the battle out on the streets, because I'm closely associated with a lot of youths in Delhi, and we have been sitting in the protest in a lot of places. So I get inspired by all these activities that are happening from the youth's perspective. And I think, as I told you, that I feel I'm too old to start, but then at least I am listening to my consciousness, and I'm happy that I'm being guided by young forces and young people.
How many artists are working with you right now?
So Shatadru's entire team, somewhere around 20-23 people who are performing artists. Some are photographers,
Right.
Some are mural artists, some are graphic artists, some are vocalist. So there are a lot of these influences of artists coming into this Dead River Project Foundation's consciousness. And as we grow, there are a lot of other artists across India who are helping me. For example, in Maharashtra, in Bombay, there is a female vocalist who and a writer who is helping me to write and expand the poem that you will hear in the beginning, that you heard in the beginning of the thing, Ek Kahani Tumhe Sunani,
Right.
Dharti Ki Ye Baat Purani.
Yes.
So we are collaborating with a lot of artists, writers who will be expanding this poem and include the entire engagement of what is happening into the world and in India. So yeah.
That would be fantastic. And I wish you all the best. And I hope many more artists will be, working with you and spreading this message.
Thank you so
To
much.
the world.
And
Thank you
I
so
think,
much.
I think,
Yeah.
from this, I would appeal to everybody,
Yeah,
wherever
please,
you are,
please.
wherever you are, whatever you do,
Right.
take out time for your environment. And environment does not mean Yamuna or any river.
Right.
Yeah, environment means your own
Your
backyard.
immediate environment.
Yeah.
It could be your immediate environment.
Please be sensitive. Please be sensible, because we are all dependent upon each other. And let's create a better world together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh.